Good evening, good evening. We are going to be talking about get to know your hormones. This is a 3-part series. So this is part 1 of 3. And we're talking about estrogen today. Estrogen. But do come in and say hello. And we're going to get to it. So if you are interested about, knowing, being educated, or just building your knowledge around the menopause, we are doing a 3-part series on get to know your hormones. Today we are going to talk about estrogen. Now, we were supposed to be doing every Wednesday, right? I had a prior engagement, so I had to make it this evening. We'll be back next Wednesday. But welcome to the Menopause Wellness community, everyone. My name is Jackie. I am a menopause wellness practitioner, as well as a menopause nutrition and weight loss management practitioner. And it's all about educating ourselves, right? Knowledge is power. So that's what we're here for. That's exactly what we're here for. Good evening, Angel. Good evening, Miss Russell. Hey, I haven't seen you for a while. And Patricia, how are you? Good evening, everyone who's here. So welcome. So this is a 3-part series. We are going to do this one first, estrogen. And again, it's all about knowing, just having that knowledge, I really feel it's important that we, particularly when we're navigating through the menopause, that we understand things. Hi, Patricia, how are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm very well. I am more relaxed now. Last week, I was almost at burnout because I was just having some busy weeks, right? And yeah, I could feel my body getting close to becoming ill. So I had to do, as I always say to everyone in the community, listen to your body. And I needed to listen. So I had to stop. Hey, Claire. Hey, Queen. Welcome to my, again, I'm always going to big up my communities, the community ambassadors, right? Always big up them. So I'm going to... Welcome Claire. Claire is one of our community ambassadors. We've got 6 community ambassadors, but Claire is one of them. So welcome. Hope you're well, Claire. Hope you're well. So obviously, Claire, we had to change because I know we said we're going to fix and have scheduled lives on a Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock Wednesdays. Yes. So why am I here today? Because, Jackie, I made a prior engagement and I double booked myself, as I sometimes do. So I said, let's do it this evening and then I can do my engagement tomorrow. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling much better. I was almost at burnout last week, but I did so much. I did too much. I know I did too much. So yeah, I need to rein things in. Hey, sweet apple. So welcome, everyone. Welcome. Listen, I'm going to have a sip of my coconut water, right? I always said I would drink water, coconut water, and also my herbal teas. Good. I'm so happy to feel I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Because you know what? It was so scary. I could actually feel myself becoming unwell. But I did take on a lot last week and I took on a few unexpected things as well. So, you know what? Yeah, anyway. So this evening, welcome everyone to the community. This evening, we're going to be educating ourselves. We're going to be educating ourselves around the hormones. Thank you for the heart me. Hey, Just Empress is in the house as well. Community ambassadors are in the house. So if anyone wants to reach out to Claire and Just Empress, they are 2 of our 6 community ambassadors that's joined us. If I miss anyone else, I'm going to be talking about, going to go through this information that I've got for you because it's all about educating ourselves a lot better than what information we know already, right? Hope you're well, Just Empress. Hope you're well. So this is our very first session of the Get to Know Your Hormone series. So we are starting off with estrogen. Everyone knows who I am. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jackie. As I said before, I'm a menopause wellness practitioner, as well as a menopause nutrition and weight loss management practitioner. Okay. And today we're diving deep into estrogen, however you pronounce it. All right. So what it does, how it impacts your body, the role it plays, right? The role it plays. Because I feel that when we get to know what these hormones do in our bodies, we respect it a bit more. I know I do. I know I definitely do. Remember, we have over 200 hormones in our body. But these three key players, that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to do estrogen, and then next live, not next week, because we've got a guest speaker. I'll tell you all about that soon. And the following week, we're going to look at progesterone. Not the following week, am I? Progesterone, and then we're going to look at testosterone, because we're going to get to know what's going on in our bodies with these key players. Okay. Hi, Mariah. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, we're going to go through, okay? And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to answer loads of questions. So estrogen, okay, estrogen is often the queen hormone. You notice that? Do you remember when I talk about estrogen, right? I'm always saying we don't recognize just how many things it does in our body. It states it's called the queen hormone. It is the queen, right? So queen hormone for a reason, right? It plays the role of so many aspects of our physical and emotional well-being. So not just the physical, but emotional as well. So whether you're in perimenopause, menopause, I would say postmenopause as well, or just curious about hormones, then this is it. We're going to get going. So what is estrogen? What is estrogen? Okay. So estrogen is a key sex hormone. It is a key sex hormone primarily in women, right? Though men also have. Remember we talked about testosterone being a male hormone. We do have it. Women do have testosterone also. However, it's very smaller amount than men. So men also have estrogen, but not as much as women. So estrogen is a key sex hormone, primarily in women, though men also have it in smaller amounts, right? So it produces mainly in the ovary. It is produced mainly in the ovaries, but also in the adrenal glands, fat tissue, and in similar amounts in the liver and breasts. Okay. So those of you who get, tender breasts when you're navigating through the menopause, and even when you're in your menstrual cycle as well, because remember, I keep saying these key hormones that we're talking about, what we're going to be doing a series on, they very much play a major role in your menstrual cycle also. So estrogen is not just about reproduction. So it's not just about reproduction. It affects nearly every organ system. Do you hear that? It affects nearly every organ system. So we're going to get through it. So roles estrogen plays in the body, right? We're going to look at this. So let's break it down into categories. Just to clarify, right? For clarity, we're going to break it down. So I've broken it down. Reproductive system, right? It regulates menstrual cycle. I just mentioned that just a little while ago. So this is a queen hormone of your menstrual cycles, right? It is also a queen hormone when it comes to our menopause. So it regulates menstrual cycle and ovulation. It maintains healthy vaginal lining and lubrication, and it supports fertility and pregnancy. That is the reproductive system, right? What about bone health? We're going to continue. Bone health. It promotes bone density, right? So this is why, again, as it's declining, fluctuating, you may start feeling achy bones and things like that, because it promotes bone density. It also protects against osteoporosis, right? So this is why, again, when it's declining, fluctuating, we are more prone to osteoporosis. okay, because of our estrogen. I'm going to continue. Cardiovascular system. This is a key hormone, the queen hormone, as we call it, right? It helps maintain healthy cholesterol levels. It supports blood vessel elasticity, and it also offers some heart protection, especially before menopause. It offers, so this is what I'm saying again, all these things, it's good to know, because really and truly, we should have been taking a better care of ourselves prior to the menopause. We really needed to be doing that. However, those who are about to embark on their menopause can have this knowledge also. Okay? Brain and mood. It supports cognitive function and memory. This is why when it starts declining, what do we sometimes experience, some of us? Brain fog, lack of concentration. I can't remember what I just, did with the keys, things like that. Regulates mood, emotions, and stress responses. This is what our queen hormone does. Our queen hormone, estrogen, however you want to pronounce it, right? It can influence sleep quality also, right? So again, many of us experience, and we've spoken about it so many times in the community, about sleep disturbances. We're going to continue. What else does it, right? So already we realize that it's reproductive system, our bone health, cardiovascular system, brain and mood, and now we're moving on to skin, hair, and other tissues. So what does it do? Maintain skin elasticity and hydration, right? This is why, again, talking about hydration, it's important to keep hydrated, because if our estrogen levels are declining, right, and fluctuating, of course, our skin will be impacted in some way, right? So we also supports hair health and growth. Yeah, that's what your estrogen does. And it plays a role in breast tissue development. We're going to come back and revisit this. Metabolism, right? So it influences fat distribution. This is why when people say to me, I've put on weight around my tummy area, it influences fat distribution, your hips, your thighs, and your breasts. Helps regulate blood sugar and insulin sensitivity. All these things, right? Who knew? And other important roles that estrogen plays, it supports immune system function and it contributes to healthy libido. Again, we talk about it all the time. Libido, low libido. If your estrogen levels are falling, right? They're fluctuating, they've declined. You may well have a low libido. Yes, I am aware that some women experience a high libido, totally opposite. But remember, everyone's going to have a different journey. Everyone's going to have a different journey. So let's just recap on those before I continue. I'm going to come to some questions and then I'm going to come back to this. We talked about what is estrogen, right? We know estrogen is the key sex hormone. We call this the queen hormone, right? The key sex hormone. We talked about it's produced mainly in the ovaries, but also in the adrenal glands, fat tissue, and smaller amounts in the liver and breasts, right? Estrogen is not just reproduction, as we know. So we talked about what role it plays in the body. We talked about reproductive system, bone health, cardiovascular system, brain and mood, skin, hair, and other tissues as well, metabolism, right? And other important roles as well. So this is why they call it the queen hormone. You can imagine it's a lot. So while we're this is declining and fluctuating. No wonder why all these things we can potentially be experiencing so many different things, because it plays a key role in many things in our body, an absolute key role. I'm going to come to some questions and comments before I continue with this, because the next thing we're going to be looking at is what happens when estrogen declines or fluctuates. That's what we're going to be looking at. But let's come just to... I'm going to ask you a question, actually, right? We've just heard about the key roles estrogen plays within our body, right? Estrogen, what key roles it plays in our body. Have you noticed anything of any area of these areas that is being impacted whilst you're navigating through the menopause? Let me know in the chat. Let me come to the questions or comments. Welcome everyone to the Menopause Wellness Community. I am Jackie. I am a menopause wellness practitioner as well as a menopause nutrition and weight loss management practitioner. We're here this evening. We're talking about, this is the first in the series of Get to Know Your Hormones. I think it's really important. I feel it's so important for us to get to know what our hormones do in our body. And so over the next 3 weeks, it's going to be a bit more than 3 weeks, but over the next 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to be covering these key hormones. Those 3 key hormones, right? Estrogen we're talking about today. We're going to be talking about progesterone, and we're going to be talking about testosterone. So we can update our knowledge, so we can understand a bit better what are these doing in our bodies, right? We need to respect. I can't sleep anymore. Please let me know. Mariah, I'm sorry to hear that. So first thing I'm going to ask you, have you spoken to your GP about not being able to sleep? And if so, what has your GP suggested? I may not want to be asking that question, to be honest with you. Thank you for pinning that up, ambassadors. I know one of you pinned that up. I'm 40, but hit flushes won't finish, man. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Do you know what? I'm really sorry to hear that. Sometimes it can feel a struggle. It can absolutely feel a struggle. I would say to you, you know what? If you haven't seen your GP yet, go and speak to your GP. That is not nice feeling like that. Definitely go and speak to your GP. We have communities like this as well. We only meet up on a Wednesday. It's usually Wednesdays we meet up. I know this evening, I'm on this evening rather than tomorrow because I double booked myself. I've got a prior engagement, so I'll be on this evening. But we are here every Wednesday. From next week, it'll be every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So please feel free. If you're not part of the community already and you'd like to be part of the community, all you need to do is follow. They don't do anything. Mariah, is that the GP? GPs generally have, unless they are advocates of women's health, thank you for the roses, advocates of women's health, and they've had additional training, they generally have 1 hour of menopause training. So when you go to your GP, go armed with information. Absolutely go armed with information and be clear in your mind what you want to use your 10 minutes for, because that's all we allocated, right? 10 minutes. Be clear in your mind what you want to use your 10 minutes for. And if you're going to your GP about any symptoms that you're experiencing, let's say you're going to your GP about your sleep disturbances, right? I cannot get to sleep. I'm struggling to get to sleep. I feel I cannot get to sleep because it's the menopause, it's the perimenopause, right? And this is why I feel it is. And you let them know and let them know exactly how it is impacting your life. So maybe then they can actually put something in place for you. They may recommend something, but there are a lot of also, Mariah, I have a list within the community that I'm happy to share with you. List of things like supplements, herbs and spices, even foods that can support your hormone levels that are declining. Also, things like hot flushes and sleep disturbances as well. Now, they are not lists for me. I'm not going to give you the list for you to look at them and say, right, I have to do one of those. It is just some knowledge so you can go and have a look at it. Remember, one size doesn't fit all. Also, it's trial and error. I'm hoping something works for you, but it is absolutely trial and error. What hope do I have with no ovaries? Oh, Roshana? Is it Roxana? I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Okay. Your weight gain. There are things that we can be looking at, and I always talk about food diary, doing a food diary. How are you eating? There could be many different things, right? Everyone's going to be different with this. So I would always say start off with a food diary, just so you can identify exactly how you are eating, right? So we're going to come back to this. Thank you, Angel. Thank you. Yeah, I was definitely at burnout. I'm better. I'm a lot better now. I just need to just slow down and just keep my bum still sometimes, Absolutely just keep quiet. What about contraceptive implant? What about it, Strawberry? Hi, Strawberry. Welcome to the community. What about when you have contraceptive implants? I'm just trying to figure out what exactly you're asking about them, how it impacts the menopause, because contraceptives can mask some of your symptoms, some menopause symptoms. Let me know. And I know some people will be offered the Mirena coil also to help with your symptoms, and some people have said that it works perfectly for them. And this is what I'm saying, you have to navigate through your journey. This is why I'm encouraging you to go and speak to your GPs or a specialist and go and ask the right questions. Ask those right questions, right? What could I be doing for this? Could I use contraceptive? Could I use the coil, Mirena coil? How does it work? What are the benefits? What are the risks? We need to be asking these questions. Really need to be asking these questions. So we're going to come back to how can estrogen be supported. Those of you who've just joined, welcome. We are discussing, this is our very first in Get to Know Your Hormones series. We are talking about estrogen this evening. We've already talked about what estrogen is, the key players, one of the key players. This is the queen hormone, estrogen, right? We talked about the role it plays in the body, and we're now going to talk about what happens when estrogen declines or fluctuates, right? So declining, and I'll come back to some more comments before we go on to the next part. So declining estrogen is natural, unnatural as we age. So as we age, we know that our hormones will start, that hormone will start declining. It also can fluctuate, okay? Particularly in perimenopause and menopause. Now, I would add to that postmenopause, right? So here's what often happens when so the same way how I gave you the reproductive, the health, the skin, hair, and other tissues, I'm going to break it down in those categories as well. So reproductive systems. Remember I said to you, reproductive systems, your estrogen regulates menstrual cycle and ovulation. It maintains healthy vaginal lining and lubrication, and it supports fertility and pregnancy. Now, when it starts to decline or fluctuate, what happens, you may notice irregular periods or missed cycles. This is what happens when it starts declining. Vaginal dryness and decreased fertility. That's what will happen. Okay, so let's move on to bone health. Remember I mentioned that bone with estrogen, it promotes bone density and it also protects against osteoporosis. So when it starts declining or fluctuating, with regards to the bone health, right, the bone density loss, there is bone density loss, right? This is why it is recommended to do strength training. Higher risk of osteoporosis, I mentioned that before. Joint aches and stiffness. Joint aches and stiffness. This is why sometimes when you get up from the chair and you feel, oh, my back, oh, my knees, yep, declining in your estrogen. So we're going on to cardiovascular system. We mentioned the cardiovascular system. It helps maintain healthy cholesterol levels. It also supports blood vessel elasticity. It offers some heart protection, especially before menopause. So what happens when it declines or fluctuates with our heart health? No, sorry. Yeah, let me look at the bone. It's bone health. Sorry, bone health. I'll just repeat that. Your bone health. It's your bone health we're talking about. Density, bone density, and your osteoporosis. We just covered that, didn't we? So what happens when it your brain and mood? Look at the brain and mood. You get mood swings. You can get mood swings, irritability. Many women say to me, why is it that something small irritates me? Your queen hormone. Your queen hormone is starting to fluctuate or decline. Okay, so your mood swings, irritability, anxiety or depression, brain fog, and memory lapse. This is what happens to our brain and mood when your estrogen levels start to decline. So now we're going to go heart and metabolism. Your heart, what happens when it declines or it fluctuates? Changes in the cholesterol levels. So again, watching your cholesterol levels. Increased risk of weight gain. We talk about weight gain, particularly around the abdomen area. Remember I said earlier on about the hips, the abdomen and the thighs, and breast also was included in that as well. So changes in cholesterol levels and increased risk of weight gain, especially around the abdomen. What about your skin, hair and other changes? So when your estrogen levels start to decline, start to fluctuate, thinner, drier skin, okay, hair thinning or loss. We talk about hair loss and hair thinning, hot flushes, night sweats and sleep disturbances. These are all the things that are happening because of our estrogen levels start to decline, start to fluctuate, right? Are there things, we're going to go into what we can do to support it. How can estrogen be supported? How can estrogen be supported? I'll do this one and then we can have a talk. So lifestyle approaches, right? We're going to talk about lifestyle approaches. Nutrition. We're always talking about food, the type of food we are eating. Now, in the community, we have a list. We have lists upon lists around the food. Nutrition. Foods rich in estrogens, soy, flaxseed, chickpeas, those sort of things. We've got lists in the community as well. I'm happy to share them. Exercise, movement. Okay, so weight bearing and resistance training. I mentioned that before for bones, cardio for heart health as well. So even walking is going to be good. That's cardio, right? Sleep and stress management. We try and get some sleep where we can. Deep sleep and stress reduction can balance hormones. So your stresses. If something is stressing you, are you able to remove that? Are you aware to remove yourself from those stresses? Because stress plays a factor. I'm always talking about these 5 factors, right? I talk about lifestyle, your what you eat, your genetics can play a part also. Genetics absolutely can play a part. Stress, right? And exercise, movement. Those are things that we need to be thinking about, okay? So, things like medical support, some people may go down the HRT route. Again, one size doesn't fit all. What works for you may not work for somebody else, but it may be something that you want to consider. Go and speak to your GP. Ask the right questions, okay? Ask the right questions. So with HRT, it can replace declining estrogen. It's prescribed individually. So again, this is why you need to talk about it. It's not something we can go to the shop and pick it off the shelf and think, oh, I'm going to take that. It is done specifically for you, okay? And there's different forms of it as well. The patches, the sprays, the tablets and everything else. So go and speak to your GPs about it. But remember to ask the right questions. Other natural supports, things like limiting alcohol and smoking, they both can impact estrogen metabolism. Okay, maintain healthy body weight, and also mind body practice, maybe things like yoga, meditation, breath work, whatever works for you. Okay. So hold on a sec. Let me just check some questions. 40 birthday. Yeah, I would say go and speak to you. Hi, Betty. Regulates cholesterol. Oh, estrogen. Thank you for sharing the live. Hot flushes want. Oh, I'm so. Do you know what? I would like to ask you about your hot flushes. Is there something that exasperates your hot flushes? For example, I know for me, my hot flushes, they're there, but they're quite minimal. I know if I eat something sweet, I'm going to get a hot flush. If I have a hot shower, I like hot showers. If I have a hot shower or use hot water to wash up the dishes, I'm going to get a hot flush. This is why I'm asking you. Do you know what exasperates your hot flushes? Yeah, if you have a GP that is you don't find helpful, you can go and get a second opinion from another GP. Let's not feel that we have to be loyal to our GP. Go and ask to speak to another GP. Hopefully you have a second GP in the practice. Or you know what, if you need to go and move to another GP, go and speak to another GP. Nowadays, we can go and speak to our pharmacists as well. You don't have to make an appointment with a pharmacist. You may have to wait 5-10 minutes for someone to be available, but you can absolutely go and speak to pharmacists as well. Thank you for following. Thank you for the follow and welcome to the community. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. All those who just joined the community. Welcome. We are here every Wednesday. I know it's Tuesday. Thank you for the heart me. Is that Health is Wealth? Welcome. Hey, Health is Wealth. How are you? We are here every Wednesday. That is our scheduled lives. We're here today because I've got a prior engagement tomorrow. So I thought it's rather than not do it tomorrow, I'd do it today. Mariah, yeah, I hear what you're saying. They don't understand us. And this is why we've got to keep speaking up until they do begin to start to understand us. And you are the expert of your body. No one can tell you anything different. You are the expert of your own body. We all are, right? We are experts in us. So if you feel you're not being heard and understood, go and get a second opinion. Go and speak to somebody else. Welcome everyone to the Menopause Wellness community. We are going through the first part of a three-part series. We're looking at estrogen. We looked at already what estrogen is, what the key role it plays in our body. It's known as the queen hormone. It's known as the queen hormone, and we know when the queen starts to go to sleep, things can go wrong, right? This is what happens. So many things can happen when our estrogen level starts to decline, starts to fluctuate. So it's about getting to know. And if anyone wants this information, please let me know. I'm happy to send it over to you. Hey, Health, how are you? Yeah, this hot flushes at night. Your night sweats. Listen, I've been that's been happening recently to me as well, and mines are coming back with a vengeance, and I'm trying to figure out why they're coming back at night with a vengeance, because I've kept off the sweets. I'm not having anything sugary. I don't know if it's because of the weather. Now I think it's because of the weather has changed. It is getting warmer, and I've still got quite a thick a thick quilt on my bed. Maybe I need to change the quilt. I'm going to try it and see what happens. If I'm stressed, I would get out. Okay, I'd like to thank you for sharing that, Health is Wealth, because sometimes we don't realize, and this is what I'm saying, you know your body, you know what triggers and exacerbates your hot flushes, right? So you know if you're stressed, you're going to get hot flush. That is a menopause warrior that knows her body, I'm telling you. We have to get to know. We have to get to know our bodies. Galia, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the community. If I haven't given you a shout out, welcome to the community. Bear, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. So, I don't smoke. No. Okay, and that's fine. If only for those, it's recommended. I'm not saying to stop, but it's recommended because, as we just heard, that it can impact. It can have an impact on you. So try and do. It's about small steps, isn't it? Taking small steps, and those small steps, as long as you're happy with them, you're going to do it. I am never going to turn around and say to you, you need to do this, 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 and this. Never. You do what you want to do, but these small steps are recommended to take. Hi, Nanny, how are you? Okay, so I'm going to go back to what age does this start? So perimenopause, I'm going to take this off. I don't know why I've got this on still, but perimenopause, 45 to 55. However, it can start earlier and it can be later. Perimenopause starts about 45 to 55. But we know in the community, don't we, everyone in the community, that there are some people that it starts earlier. Youngest person in the community, I think, is 28, 28, who's navigating through the menopause. Thank you for the follow, Lady Theo. Welcome to the community. Does any get hip pain? I think I could do a lack of calcium intake. Okay. Health is Wealth just asks a question. Does anyone experience hip pain? I'm going to pin that up for you, Health is Wealth. Does anyone experience hip pain? I remember I used to experience hip pain, a lot of hip pain. And even when I went to the gym, my hips, I need to stretch my hips need to be stretched anyway. But I'm working on that. But yeah, I used to experience a lot of hip pain. And I used to experience a lot of shoulder pain as well. I don't anymore. I don't experience any joint pain at all. Touch wood, it never comes back. But I feel, me personally, I feel that it's gone because I changed how I eat. I totally changed how I eat. And I just move more. I move a lot more. So, let me decline. Do feel free to speak to each other in the community. That's why we're here. We meet up on a Wednesday. I know it's Tuesday. We're not meeting up tomorrow because I've got a prior engagement, but we are meeting today. So when we meet up, it's all about supporting each other, building our knowledge, right? So I'll bring things to you and we can have discussions and speaking to each other. You're welcome. Elbow pains, finger pain, shoulder pain. Oh, my goodness me. Ring Hill, you got pain everywhere, innit? Everywhere you got pain. And I tell you not, I kid you not, this is serious. When I changed the way I started eating, when I changed the way how I eat, I noticed a difference. Within a matter of a week, I noticed difference. This is the thing, health is wealth. Do you know what? You're working with yourself. This is the thing. Everyone has to find their own little pattern. Everyone has to find what works for them, right? You take your time and do what you're doing, little by little. Those small steps, are big wins. I'm telling you, those small steps are big wins. So how can estrogen be supported? We talked about what in our series. This is a part 1 of 3 series, Get to Know Your Hormones. We're talking about estrogen today. Estrogen. We looked at what that is, what role it plays in the body. We looked at that. And then we looked at what happens when estrogen declines and fluctuates, right? So how can estrogen be supported? We looked at that, lifestyle approaches, medical support, and natural support. Those are the things that we looked at. And one of the things around natural supports, we talked about limiting alcohol or smoking, because both can impact your estrogen metabolism. All right. So it's about tracking your journey, tracking and knowing what actually exasperates. When I say track, right, either jot it down, whether it's in your journals, whether it's on your phones, you're typing it in your phones, making notes, or on your calendar, whatever you choose to, however you choose to, because from one week to the next, things may change. Things may change quickly. Even if you notice something like, I've not had that twinge before, jot it down. How long did the twinge last? What is the intensity of the twinge? You are tracking your journey. So it's almost getting to know your body again. This is what's happening, right? So just a reminder, right? I've got here on my notes, estrogen touches so many parts of our lives, right? From our bones to our brains, our hearts to our moods. So understanding it helps us to make informed choices for the health and well-being. It's really important, right? So if you notice changes in your body or mood, it's never too early or too late to start supporting your hormones. So this is what I'm saying about making those small changes. You can start today, right? If you feel I don't want to start, you can start tomorrow. It's never too late to make those small changes. But the most important thing is that you've got to do it when you feel ready. Because let's be real, you've got to make those realistic. You've got to make your goals realistic, particularly when you're dealing with all this, right? Because if you don't make them realistic and you then don't tend to meet them, then you're just going to beat yourself up about it. You will absolutely beat yourself up about it. I've got a quiz here. When I finish this, I'm going to come back to the questions and comments, and we've got an interactive estrogen quiz. Estrogen quiz. We've got an interactive quiz here, right? So I know I've gone through everything, so I'm going to recap on these things in a little while. So I would say track your menopause, track your journey. Those of you who are not yet embarked on your journey as yet, get to know your body, right? I'm sure you may well be tracking your menstrual cycle. Remember, as I said, Your menstrual cycle, if you've not embarked on your perimenopause yet, and you still are having your menstrual cycles and they are regular, like clockwork, remember these 3 key hormones that we're going to be discussing over the next few weeks or longer, your estrogen, your progesterone, and your testosterone. They are key players. We've talked about estrogen today, the queen hormone. We are calling it the queen hormone because it plays a massive role in a lot of things, right? In a lot of things in our body. So let me come back to these comments on here. Welcome everyone to the Menopause Wellness community. I am Jackie. If you don't know me already, I am Jackie. I am a menopause wellness practitioner, and I'm also a menopause nutrition and weight loss management practitioner. We are here today talking about and we're getting some more knowledge about these hormones in our body. The 3 key hormones. One of them is estrogen. This is what we're talking about today. So we can better understand what our hormones are doing, what role they play in our bodies, and what happens when they start to fluctuate and decline. That's what we're doing. So we can better understand our journey, right? Our menopause journey, and even better understand our bodies, to be honest with you. So I'm going to come back to some comments and then I'm going to go over to the quiz. But welcome. If you are not, sorry about the shouting. I can hear my husband shouting. His team obviously scored. He never shouts when they don't score. Dooney experience hip pain too. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Remember, in the community has got lots of information. We've got lists on foods that can support this journey. Herbs and spices, that's included in the food. Supplements, there are so many lists that I'm happy to share with you. All you need to do is DM me or go onto the community profile page and click on the email link and you can send me an email and I will send you the information. Now, the information, I'm not sending it for you to turn around for you to look at it and say, I need to take this, this and this. No, it's about knowledge. Just raising awareness. The information is there. You can now go and decide what you feel may be right for you. Remember, this is a trial and error. But I will say to you that if you do want the information, and I'm happy to share it with you, please ensure that if you are on any medication or you have any health conditions, before you go and trial and error any of these things, go and speak to a GP, go and speak to the pharmacist, because there's certain things that we shouldn't be taking or they may not be able to be taken together. So go and do your checks, go and do your due diligence. Okay, absolutely. All the lists that I send you, they will have like the herbs and spices list. They have the herbs and spices, what the benefits are of taking them, and it actually gives you a suggested amount to be taking. So remember, it's again trial and error. There are certain things that I've been taking that I've had to increase it or take it differently, rather than in the evening, take it in the morning on an empty stomach for it to work better for me. And that's because I've just been mapping out my journey and realizing that this isn't working the way it should be, doesn't feel the same anymore, things have changed. This is why it's a constant thing. Okay, so I'm happy to share that with you. This is a good opportunity for me to say this now. Next week, Wednesday, we are not going to have part 2 of our series. We're going to have a guest speaker. We are going to be inviting Lee Matheson. He is the founder and he's a naturopath of Magic Tree Superfoods. We are going to be talking about menopause and superfoods next week, Wednesday. We're going to have Lee on the show, on the show, on the show, you know. We're going to have Lee on the live and we're going to be talking. So bring your questions, because I'm telling you, he's going to be talking about a lot of things and we've got lots of questions for him. So that's at 8 o'clock next week, Wednesday. I will be posting about it, but I just thought that was a great opportunity to say that because we were talking about the different supplements and all these things. I'm Perry and started when I was 41. Okay, so have you had it confirmed? But do you know what? I don't even need to ask that question. Have you had it confirmed? Because we know our bodies. I've never had my menopause confirmed from my GP. I was turned away 3 times and I just left the GP and never went back. And I'm in post-menopause now. As I keep saying to the community members, my GP does not even know I'm in post-menopause. In fact, I went to have a scan on my stomach a month ago. And I was asked about my menstrual cycles. And I said to the consultant, I don't have any menstrual cycles. And she looked at me and said, why do you not have menstrual cycles? And I said to her, I'm post-menopause. So we know our bodies, right? We don't need it clarified that we're navigating through perimenopause, the menopause, we've had our menopause, and we're now in post-menopause. We don't need the clarification. We really don't. We know our bodies. Yeah, I'm glad, touch wood, I don't have joint pain anymore. But joint pain is not a nice thing to experience. You're welcome, Lady Theo. I'm just going back over these comments just in case I missed anything. And then we're going to go to the quiz. Welcome, everyone. If you're not part of the community and you would like to be part of the community, we meet up every Wednesday, normally on a Wednesday, only today because I've got an engagement tomorrow. Every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. That's our scheduled lives. Thank you for sharing the live, Donnie. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for the follow, Lynn. Welcome to the community. Welcome, everyone. All the newbies, welcome. A couple of ambassadors in the community as well. We have about 6 community ambassadors. Claire and Just Empress, they on the live at the moment. We also have Jen, we also have Poetic Angel, we have Lulu and Samantha. Those are all our community ambassadors. So they are always around to just, make you feel welcome. And you feel free to reach out to them as well when they're on the live. Applause, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. I'm loving all these newbies. Welcome. Lynn, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you, Colette. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. How can we decrease estrogen? Increase, you mean? Increase. You don't want it decrease. This is why all this stuff happens, right? Increase. Well, we're never going to ever get our estrogen levels back to the way it was. However, if you're going down the natural route, you may find it a bit of a challenge. You may do. But if you're going down, I don't take HRT. Okay, so I don't know how HRT is. I've been told from some women that HRT has been a game changer for them. Absolutely game changer. I just wouldn't do it. Personally, I would not do it. I've done too much research to find out certain things and I just wouldn't do it. There are going to be certain foods that you can eat that will support as well. I have got a list in the community of foods that can support your hormones. I'm happy to send it out to you. Good evening, T. Good evening. Collect my... Okay, Colette, thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry to hear that. That's something you're going to have to go and speak to your GP about. Because there are certain things that you would not be recommended to do. Particularly if you're at high risk. Yeah. And they would take that information. So that's something that I would recommend that you shared with your GP. May know, but share that with your GP because then they can ensure that you're on the right track. Yeah. Yeah, we're learning about estrogen. Do you know what? Knowledge is power, right? Every week we're going to meet up, and every week we're going to build up our knowledge. And every week we're going to get to know our body better than we did the week before. I'm absolutely telling you, this is what we're doing here. This is exactly what we're doing here. We're all in the community. You can be talking to each other, ask questions, make comments. Absolutely. Share your stories. Zab, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. Loving all these queens that are joining the community. Absolutely. Does postmenopause start the day after not having a period for 12 months? Okay, so Ring Hill, yes. No, postmenopause. So postmenopause, after the 12 months of no period, 12 consecutive months of no period, right? It needs to be consecutive. So if you go month 1 to 4 and then have a period, on month 5, month 6 will be your month 1 again. Okay, so 12 consecutive months of no period, no menstrual cycle. And then the day after that is menopause. Menopause is that one moment in time. And then the day after that is going to be postmenopause. You're now in postmenopause. It's interesting because when you research postmenopause, it actually, some places, depending on where you get the information from, it does state that you're not officially in postmenopause until you've had two full years of no period. But it's the day after the menopause that you're postmenopause. And postmenopause is for the rest of our lives. Zab, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. Can you send... Absolutely, Paula. I just need to, if you DM me or send me an email, and I will get it sent over to you. If not this evening, tomorrow, because I'm actually working from home tomorrow, so I can get that all sent out tomorrow. I usually send it within 24 hours anyway. All I need is your email. Please do not put your email in the chat. DM me or click on the email link and send me the email. I'm the only one reading the email, so I can send that back to you. Absolutely, I'll send you all the information you need, because remember, it's there as information. I am not sending you information to tell you that this is what you must be doing. It is about knowledge, building up your knowledge, right? And as we say, knowledge is power. Right, the more knowledge we have as a community, the better. I stopped HRT after a week, menstrual cramps and serious lower pain. Everyone is different. Absolutely, Angel. This is what I'm saying. I cannot say to anyone, go and try this, go and try that, because what I use, it works for me. And sometimes I got to switch it up too, because it's off key sometimes. And this is why I'm saying, whatever you are using during this journey, track it. Because then that's when you know, that's how I know things are off key sometimes, because I'm thinking, hold on a minute, it wasn't moving like this before. It's moving different now. What have I got to do? What do I need to do to change it up? And I sometimes have to change the narrative. This is why I'm saying to track your journey. You know your body the best. Hey, Hot Water, how are you? But Angel, I'm glad you made that decision that, you know, you didn't feel right after a week of using that. You didn't feel right because it was giving you things that you wasn't experiencing before. Thank you for the heart, me. So you stopped. Do exactly what you feel is right for you and good for you. I know what you meant. Stomach cramps. Absolutely. That is you. That is a queen right there, knowing her body. Know your body. If something doesn't feel right, it is probably not right. Remember, I'm always saying our bodies gives us signals. Our body speaks to us, you know. Our body absolutely speaks to us. What we need to be doing is listening to our body better than we listen. I'm telling you, last week when I was at burnout, I started getting, my tongue started swelling at the side. I normally, if I eat too much citric fruit, like pineapples and kiwis and lemons and things like that, my tongue strips. I didn't eat any of that last week, but my tongue was stripping. And that is because I overdid I overdone it last week. And I was totally at burnout. So I had to stop because otherwise I would have made myself sick. We have to listen to our bodies better than we're doing. Can I have a list of foods, please? Absolutely. Absolutely, Zab. But remember, when you get the list, have a look at it. Yeah? And see what is right for you. It's trial and error. June will be 12 months since I haven't had one. Okay, so when June comes up, just remember, it's got to be right until the end, right until June. When June comes up, then the day after that 12th month, then that's the menopause. That is your menopause. And then the day after that, it will be post-menopause. But keep a track on it. And just start, if you haven't already, keep a track on your journey as well as tracking all the symptoms you're experiencing. Even if you know what, you wake up and you start getting a twitchy eye. It's never happened before. Jot it down. I'm talking about those small little things that we tend to ignore. We tend to ignore them and tend to think, oh, it's nothing. It is something. Sometimes it can be something. Yeah? So just track that. You're welcome, Paula. Okay, so I'm going to go over to this quiz. What's the time? 9. I'm going to go over to this quiz. Let me just see if I've just missed any questions or comments. We cannot seem to DM you whilst being on live. Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can. I've never tried to DM whilst you're on live. But what you can do, Zab, is go onto the community page and there's an email link. If you click on the email link, it will send an email to the Menopause Wellness Community email. And then I'll pick it up after the live and I'll send it to you either, if not this evening, tomorrow. I keep to my words. Hey, Hot Water, how are you? Dream Naturals, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Right, so, I hear my voice is going, man. My voice is going. I chat too much. I can't have any supplements or HRT due to breast cancer. Okay, Laura, sorry to hear that. Thank you for sharing your truth. Do you know what, Laura? Next week, Wednesday, if you're around, please join the live because we're having Lee Matheson on, and he's what did I say he was? A naturopath, and we're going to be talking about menopause and superfoods. And I feel that you can ask some questions there, and he'll have some answers for you. Absolutely. So if you're around next week, Wednesday, 8 o'clock, he's coming on. He's gonna be our guest speaker. Thank you for reposting. And thank you for the heart me as well, Dream Naturals. Hey Lilith. I used to believe that the menopause would come on to an end. No. Do you know what? And this again, this knowledge, when you go and check out some information online about the menopause and post-menopause, I came across some information that actually stated post-menopause is the end of the menopause. That is misleading. Absolutely misleading. We are in post-menopause now for the rest of our life. However, what may happen, and it does happen to many, when they get to post-menopause, your hormone levels start to stabilize somewhat, right? They can still fluctuate, but they start to stabilize. And what you will find is for some, symptoms will decline. Symptoms will decline and they will disappear. For others, symptoms will lessen, but they may remain. Okay? I have spoken to 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds that are still experiencing hot flushes, night sweats, and brain fog. They're still experiencing this. So post-menopause, we're in it for the rest of our lives. This is what I'm saying. We're empowering our knowledge. We're building up our knowledge in this community, right? Exactly what we're doing. Good, thanks, Jackie. Hope you're good. I am good, hot water. Thank you for joining the live. We're talking about estrogen today. We've gone through what it is, what role it plays within the body, and how it impacts the body when it starts declining and fluctuating. How did you do that? Okay, that was Zeb, someone else. I love when you guys are asking each other a question and just communicating with each other. Hey, Alison. It's true. Used to have Bailey's cappuccino, and one day the hot flush is. No, I'm telling you. Know what exacerbates. This is why we need to track these things. You see, all this time when we're having a little sip of this little Bailey's and having this bit and, this drink and that, and we're thinking, oh, it feels nice. But you see, when the hot flushes come and kick us in our backside, it's because of that sweet drink we just had. I'm telling you, track it, right? Track your journey. GP. Oh, right, you're speaking to Angel. When you guys are speaking to each other, I'm keeping out your conversation. Absolutely. I'm telling you, Alison, you are the experts of your own bodies. I'm telling you. Experts of your own bodies. No one can go and tell you that you're not feeling the way you're feeling. Absolutely not. You're the one who's feeling it. How can someone tell you, no, you're not feeling that? Come on, that's a madness. Just press top left when it says menopause wellness. Well, then go. Okay, thank you, T. T's just given some instructions, right? Is that for the DM? Just press top left. I'm just getting to it now. Just press top left where it says menopause wellness. Will then go to message. Okay, thank you. You know what? This is a minefield. This platform, isn't it? It's so many things that you just kind of like can be doing on here. User Null, thank you for the follow and welcome to the community. All the newbies. We generally are scheduled lives every Wednesday at 8 p.m. I know it's Tuesday today. I have a prior arrangement tomorrow, so I'm not going to be here tomorrow. So shall we go to this quiz then? This estrogen quiz. Estrogen. Let me just check a few more comments. I'm good, hot water. Shelby, welcome to the live. Thank you for the follow and welcome to the community. You're welcome. Have you used Starflower and what's your views? Oh, Paula, yeah, I do take Starflower. I take Starflower combined with my evening primrose and I have found it fantastic. It works well for me. I'm actually on a break at the moment because when I take I'm actually taking Starflower oil and evening primrose. That's together. I take 1 capsule a day and I also take, do I take 1 or 2? No, I take 2 capsules a day. And I also take 2 capsules of magnesium glycinate. When I finish my supplements, I always have a break in between. So I'm on a break at the moment until I go and get some more. That's how I always work. It always works for me. But those are the 2 things I take. And then on top of that, I take my sea moss for my gut health. And I drink my herbal teas as well. The only things I drink is herbal tea, coconut water and water. This is what I do. You're welcome. Have you used Starflower? I do use it and I find it to be great. And I find it helps with my it helps me with my hot flushes. But again, because I track my journey, I know what exacerbates my hot flushes. So I tend to try and stay away from things like that. Sugar, hot water. Yeah, I can't have the hot showers. If I do have a hot shower, then I'm going to have a hot flush and night sweats as well. Hey, Sonia. Are palpitations part of the menopause? Absolutely. It's on the list. However, Sonia, what I will say to you, I hope you're still in the live. What I will say to you, just because it's on the list, let's not just accept it is going to be perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause. If you are concerned about your palpitations, all right, if you are experiencing them, go and speak to a GP. Absolutely. Let's not. Could be something else. But yes, palpitations is on the list of symptoms. We have a list of 90 symptoms in the community. 90. And actually, I was speaking to some consultants a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, there's about 120 symptoms. 120 symptoms of the menopause. Perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause. However, 34 are recognized. Only 34 of those symptoms are recognized. You're welcome, Alison. This is what we're here for. We're going to just build up our knowledge, and just knowledge is power. Yes, Winnie Fuller. Welcome to the live. Yes, it can affect your eyes. It absolutely can affect your eyes. Blurred vision. Absolutely can. Artep. Welcome to the community. Thank you for the follow. You can, and this is what I'm saying. Raven Journey, welcome. How are you? This is why I'm saying be mindful where you get your information from. Okay? There are going to be websites that you can go and get information that is going to be reliable. Reliable sources of information is so important. When I bring you this information, I'm bringing it to you from reliable sources. I am not plucking any of this information out of the air, right? I'm getting it from reliable sources. So these reliable sources for you, things like NHS is going to be reliable. Also, the British, if you're in the UK, the British Menopause Society is reliable information. There are a lot of menopause charities out there. They're going to have reliable information. The most reliable information you're going to be getting is going to be from yourself, because you're the one navigating and walking through this journey. So, yes, but palpitation is part of it. Can be part of it. But as I said, if you're concerned about it, please go and see the GP. Hey, Lady 44. Welcome. My throat, man. My throat is dry. Sorry, I need to drink. I'm telling you, we go through a lot, don't we? Yeah, I'm telling you, 90 symptoms. If we've got time later on, I'll read out all the symptoms again. I know I've read it out so many times over here, but I'm quite happy to read it out again. Thank you for the repost, is it Shamara? Thank you for the repost. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Which brand of Starflower and Evening Primrose do you use, please? Let me think. Do you know what? My Evening Primrose and Starflower oil, I've purchased it from H&B, the health store. I've purchased it from the pharmacist before, and I've purchased it from Superdrug before. Wherever I get it, I don't have a specific brand, and I find that they've all worked for me. Yeah, I'm not. Listen, whoever's doing the deals, I'm getting it. That's me. Of those ones, anyway. As long as it's okay on my Yuka app, but mind you, Yuka app don't do supplements anyway. The Yuka app don't do supplements. I do. Is bioidentical HRT good, or we should go holistic way? Okay. You see this? I don't know. I'm just like, anything that's made in the lab, to me, it's not natural. But I hear about this. It's supposed to be a better HRT for you. It's supposed to be better to HRT for you. Remember, I am not an HRT. I'm not a HRT girly. I'm just never have been, never will be. I've just chosen to take the natural route. I'm taking supplements and just looking at what I eat and those things, and that's been helping me. Remember, trial and error. When you start taking something, track it, because you do not know if it is actually working well. After a week or 2 weeks, even after a couple of hours, to be honest with you, because I know if I take something within a matter of an hour, sometimes it can have an impact on me. I know it's going to be what I've just taken. So this is why, track your symptoms. The moment you start taking something, record everything, what's going on. Yeah, it's up to you what way you want to go. It's really up to you. You may decide to try something. You may decide to try the HRT, and then give it time, because GPs normally will say give it 3 to 6 months before it kicks in, and see if it works. But track your journey. And if you decide that it's not for you, then you might go for the the holistic way. I would say to you also, if you are around next week, do join, because we are having Lee Matheson on. Lee Matheson is the founder, and he is a naturopath, and he's going to be talking about menopause and superfoods. So do join next week. That's our guest speaker next week. And I know you queens are going to have a lot of questions for him. I'm telling you, absolute lot of questions for him. Sammy, how are you? Had a vaginal check under anaesthetic, St. Mary. As I kept bleeding. Come back. Oh, okay. So what do they feel that is then? Have they not said what they think it is? Because that's not normal, is it? That's the whole point of you going there, to find out what's going on. And sometimes things do come back normal, don't they? Sometimes. Still push to find out what's going on. I was having a blurred vision today, but didn't. Oh, Alison, the blurred vision. I've had that. I used to wake up in the morning, and I have blurred vision, and it lasts for about 24 hours, and then it will disappear. And then about a month ago, it stayed for 48 hours. Now, that to me wasn't normal for me. So I went and made an appointment. I was at the optician's the next day. And now I'm supposed to be wearing glasses for reading and driving. But I'm trying to get used to them, because are they varifocals, you call them? Where you have to look up that to do something and look down to... Look, who's got time for that? Who has got time for that? Looking up, looking down. I'm trying to get used to them. But yeah, blurred vision is on the list. I'm going to read this list out after we do the quiz. Just started drinking moringa tea, having less flushes, but does sometimes gives small belly. Okay. Again, be mindful with the moringa tea as well. Just again, I've heard that the tea... Is there one way? I'm just trying to remember. I was taking the moringa seeds, and it's better apparently it is better in menopause, that the powder form is better than the seeds. We're going to check with Lee next week. Lee is going to be talking about superfoods, so we're going to check with him next week. Okay, so Queens, I'm going to go to the quiz, and then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to go and get this list for you, and we're going to go through the list, okay? This quiz. So there's how many questions? There are 10 questions. So you're going to pop the answers in the chat. Of all the questions, they're either true or false or multiple choice. So for those of you who missed the information around estrogen, this is what we were talking about today. We are doing our series, our part 1 of a 3-part series, Get to Know Your Hormones. And we talked about estrogen. Just to quickly recap before I do the quiz, right? Remember, estrogen, we call it the queen hormone, right? And it's the queen hormone for a reason. So what is it? It plays a big role around the sex hormone, right? It also you'll find that it primarily is in for women. Men do have levels of estrogen, but not as much as women. Also produced mainly in the ovaries, but also in the adrenal glands, fat tissue, and a small amount in the liver and breasts, right? Remember, we talked about the role of the estrogen, that what it plays in the body. We talked about the reproductive system, bone health, cardiovascular system, brain and mood, skin, hair, and other tissues as well, metabolism. And we also talked about other important roles, meaning supports immune system as well. Our estrogen supports our immune system. This is why gut health, I'm telling you, we're gonna have a session on gut health. We are absolutely gonna have a session on gut health. So important. And then we looked at how estrogen, when it declines and fluctuates, what impact that has on each of those areas. We went straight back in again with reproductive system, your bone health, joint health, brain and mood, heart and metabolism, skin health, skin, hair, and other changes. And then we looked at how we can support it. What sort of things we can support? Not surprisingly, nutrition came up there. Okay. Nutrition, exercise, and sleep and stress management. We talked about that. So this is the question. So we got 10 questions. So I'm going to do the quiz, and then we're going to go, I'm going to go read through the list of symptoms. So question 1. What is the primary organ that produces estrogen in women? This is a multiple choice. What is the primary organ that produces estrogen in women? Is it A, liver? Is it B, ovaries? Is it C, kidneys? Or is it D, pancreas? So the primary organ, just pop it in the chat, the answer. A, B, C, or D. What is the primary organ that produces estrogen in women? A, liver, B, ovaries, C, kidneys, or D, pancreas. Lovely, lovely. My hands are itching me. So we've got ovaries, we've got B, 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 B. Yep. Absolutely. Ovaries. Good, good, good. Excellent. So all of you who got ovaries, you all got ovaries actually. So we know, remember, the ovaries are the main estrogen factors in women, right? Producing the hormone that regulates the menstrual cycle, fertility, and more. This is why I'm saying it's so important that the younger generation know about this, right? Not to be ramming it down their throats, but if they take care of themselves during their menstrual cycles, they may well get a smoother transition into the menopause, right? Okay, money. Yeah, you know the itchy hand, Alison. I'm telling you, it's been itching me all day. So, question 2. This is a true or false question. Men do not produce estrogen. Men do not produce estrogen. Is it true or false? Estrogen, however we're going to pronounce it. Men do not produce estrogen. Is it true or false? Left hand losing right. Do you know what? My left hand and right hand is the same one, Shell. Trust me. I'm always getting money with the left losing as well. I know they say, right? One to receive, one to give away. True or false? Men do not produce estrogen. True or false? Well done. So those of you who said false, you're correct. So men produce small amounts of. Remember, with testosterone, it's predominantly known as a male hormone, isn't it? But we do, as women, as queens, we produce small amounts of it. But it's still there, right? So men produce small amounts of estrogen in the testes and adrenal glands. It helps them. It helps with bone health, brain function, and regulating fat. So, question 3: which of these is not a role of estrogen? Which of these is not a role of estrogen? Remember, we talked about all the roles, the role that estrogen plays in the body. Which is not a role? Is it A, regulating menstrual cycles? Is it B, supporting bone health? Is it C, controlling blood sugar? Or is it D, digesting proteins? Which of these is not a role in estrogen? Okay, we've got Ringhill, D, Shell, C. C, you're sitting on the fence there, Alison. C and D. I like that. Okay, so those of you who put D, digesting proteins, that's what the answer is. So estrogen impacts many systems, including bones, brain, and metabolism, but digestion of proteins is not one of its functions. So it doesn't digest proteins. So question 4: estrogen supports which aspect of brain health the most? So which aspect of brain health does estrogen support the most? Is it A, memory and cognitive function? Is it B, hair growth? Is it C, blood clotting? Or is it D, liver detoxification? That's a big word, isn't it? Liver detoxification. So estrogen supports which aspect of brain health the most? We got C, we got A. This watch scientist Alison, frontal lobe, you know. Alison, you're going to town on this one. Okay, so those of you who said A, memory and cognitive function. Remember, estrogen helps maintain brain cell communication and protects cognitive function, which is why mood swings or brain fog can help when levels fluctuate, can happen when levels fluctuate. Well done, T. Well done. So question 5. So this is another multiple choice, right? So which is a common symptom of declining estrogen during menopause? Which is a common symptom of declining estrogen during menopause? Is it A, increased bone density? Is it B, hot flushes and night sweats? Is it C, improved mood? Or is it D, faster metabolism? Everyone's putting B. Lots of B's. Alison, I'll come back to you. Doesn't it support with the hair? It does, but that wasn't it does. It can support. Okay. Okay, that one was number 5. What is the common symptom of declining estrogen during menopause? And the answer was B, hot flushes. Okay, so estrogen decline affects temperature regulation in the hypothalamus, causing these classic menopause symptoms. Okay, so our body temperature has an impact on it. So question 6, which type of exercise is especially important for bone health when estrogen levels drop? I mentioned this. Is it A, swimming, B, weight bearing and resistance training? Is it C, stretching only, or D, light walking only? Which type of exercise is equally important for bone health when estrogen levels drop? Okay, we're getting B. Yep, everyone's going in for it. Perfect. The one you said B, the weight bearing and resistance training. So bones need load and stress to stay strong. You see this? Bones need load and stress to stay strong. And these exercises help reduce the risk of osteoporosis. So this is why your weight bearing and resistance training is going to be of benefit. And you know what? We don't have to go to the gym to do this, you know. You can pick up a tin out of your cupboard and be doing this. This is it. Pick up something heavier and be doing that. I'm telling you. Okay, question 7. Is it question 7? Yes, question 7. So, true or false? This is true or false. Estrogen only affects the reproductive system. Estrogen only affects the reproductive system. Is it true or false? Estrogen only affects the reproductive system. True or false? I like that. No. Shell. You queens know your stuff, don't you? Absolutely know your stuff. Absolutely know your stuff. Congrats. It's false. So the information here, estrogen impacts nearly every system, the heart, the bones, the brain, the skin, metabolism, and more. It's a multitasking hormone. This is why we call it the queen of hormones. It's a lot, isn't it? It's an absolute lot. So question 8. This is another multiple choice. Which of these foods is rich in phytoestrogens? I'm sure I'm saying it right. Phytoestrogens and can naturally support estrogen. So which of these foods is rich in phytoestrogens and can naturally support estrogen? Is it A, soy and flaxseed? Is it B, red meat and cheese? Is it C, white rice and sugar? Or is it D, citrus fruits only? I mentioned this earlier on. Is it on the ball, on the ball, on the ball? So those of you, there's more coming in. Look at that. Okay. So those of you who said, okay, those of you who said A, it is, so it's soy and flaxseed. Remember, the phytoestrogens are plant compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. You see that? Your flaxseed, soy, they have that plant compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. Great for natural support. There you go. Your natural support. That will be on the list of the foods as well. It is on the list of foods that I'm going to send over to you, whoever's asked for them, right? But oh, yeah, of course it will. Yeah. And this is the thing, Alison, whatever works for you, right? Because I tell you what, somebody could easily be taking these, right? And it's not working for them. Everyone's body is different. This is why I'm saying it's a trial and error. Through this trial and error, you've got to give yourself some compassion and some grace. Give yourself that time to, see if it works for you. So we're going to question 9. We've got 2 more questions, queens. 2 more questions. What mental health symptom can estrogen fluctuations cause? What mental health symptom can estrogen fluctuations cause? Is it A, heightened immunity, B, mood swings or anxiety, C, hair growth, or D, increased muscle mass. Now this one, okay, this one is going to be easy for you. Absolutely easy for you. I can't see any of you getting this one incorrect. Absolutely, it is B. Perfect. B is mood swings or anxiety. So estrogen affects neurotransmitters like serotonin, which influence mood, sleep, and emotional well-being. Right? So estrogen affects neurotransmitters like serotonin, which influence mood, sleep, and emotional well-being. Okay, your last question before I read out this list for everyone. Which lifestyle habit supports estrogen balance? Which lifestyle habit supports estrogen balance? Is it A, regular sleep and stress management? Is it B, smoking and excessive alcohol? Is it C, a sedentary lifestyle, or is it D, ignoring nutrition? You're going to get this one. Which lifestyle habit supports estrogen balance? A, regular sleep and stress management. B, smoking and excessive alcohol. D, sedentary lifestyle, or C, sedentary lifestyle, or D, ignoring nutrition. What am I seeing here? You see? Absolutely. Okay. Well, congratulations to those who are saying A. Regular sleep and stress management. Remember, sleep, stress reduction, good nutrition, and exercise all help your body maintain healthy hormone levels naturally. Did you hear that? Did you hear what I said? Sleep, stress reduction, good nutrition, and exercise all help your body maintain healthy hormone levels naturally. It helps it naturally. Okay, so for those of you who mentioned, well done everyone for joining in. Well done. Did anyone get everything right? How many did you get out of 10? You kept your scores. How many did you get out of 10? Who got more than 5 out of 10? Hey, and Angel, T, Donny, 10. Hey. Wow. Well done, Dream. Well done, everyone. Right, I'm going to go to the comments to see if I've missed anything, and then I'm going to read out these symptoms again. I know I've read them out time and time again, but do you know what? There's new people in the community and they may not have heard this list. So I'm going to share the list with you. Oh, let me go into my menopause. And then signs and symptoms. Here we go. I need to take a big pause when I do this. I'm going to go and come over to the comments to see if I've listed anyone's comments. Those of you who would like me to send any lists out to you, I can get them sent out this evening or tomorrow, probably tomorrow now. Lists for you because I'm working from home tomorrow, so I can get the lists sent out to you. They sometimes get... Oh, is that men, is it? I'm just going back through the comments now because I've missed all the comments after doing that quiz. You should try warm coconut milk with cinnamon. Oh, I will. Listen, I love this coconut water. Love it. I will try that. Thank you, Alison. Do you warm it up like just on the stove, or do you warm it up and then add cinnamon to it? I'm going to try that. I mean, this is coconut water. I've got coconut milk in the fridge, actually. So maybe I can just warm it up on the pan, right? And just put a cinnamon in it. I can imagine that tastes so good. I will thank you, Alison, for sharing that. I will try that. Bella Beauty, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Rosa, is that you? Welcome to the community. Alison, I hope you're still here. I'm going to read out this list now of these 90 symptoms. If it'd be interesting once I've read it out to let me know if anything, any symptoms that you're experiencing that has not been mentioned in the list. Thank you for reposting. We just had a quiz, right? My throat, I'm telling you, just feels, oh my goodness me. Right, I think I'm going to go back to these. Right, I'm going to read this list out now, okay? So these are perimenopause and menopause symptoms. Now, this is not to overwhelm you, right? This is not to overwhelm you. This is about knowledge. Knowledge is power. We keep on saying this, knowledge is power, right? It's about knowledge. However, when I read this list out, I do not want you to think, oh, it's definitely the menopause, it's definitely the perimenopause. If something doesn't feel right for you, right to you, go and seek medical attention, seriously. Because yes, it could be perimenopause, menopause. I'm going to throw in postmenopause, but it could be something else. Let's go and get it checked out. Let's not normalize these symptoms. Okay, here we go. Insomnia, palpitations, vaginal dryness, weight loss, hair loss, dry skin, muscle pain, hot flushes, low libido, anxiety, pain during sex, migraines, blood sugar spikes, brittle nails, vaginal atrophy, dizziness, fatigue, weight gain, panic attacks, joint pain, nausea, acne, blood pressure dips, incontinence, depression, eczema, blood pressure spikes. Metallic taste in the mouth, vaginal itching, rosacea, and that's inflammation of the skin. Electric shocks, restless legs, pins and needles, random tears, metabolism changes, bloating, itching, tinnitus, worsening allergies, irregular periods, vertigo, gum pain, brain fog, frequent urination, fatigue, high libido, frequent UTIs, facial hair, dry mouth, excessive mucus, anal incontinence, dry eyes, psoriasis, thrush, flooding, acid reflux, rage, burning tongue, brittle, dry hair, food cravings, breast pain, extra heavy periods, forgetfulness, lack of concentration, shortness of breath, unpleasant body odor, tingling hands, tingling feet, fluid retention, clumsiness, underarm odor, blurry vision, chills, voice pitch changes, loss of bone density, irregular heartbeat, difficulty breathing, back pain, indigestion, bleeding gums, crawling skin, irritability, bad breath, aching teeth, severe cramping, increased body hair, breast changes, skin sensitivity, numbness hands, numbness feet, extra long periods, depth perception issues, paranoia, constipation, bowel issues. What more do you need? What more do you need? Those were symptom after symptom after symptom for perimenopause and menopause. I am going to throw the postmenopause in there, right? Now, remember what I said. Do not just accept all these things. If you hear it and you think, oh, I'm experiencing that now. Don't just tick it off and say, yes, it's definitely my menopause. If you're concerned, go and get it checked out. So with the palpitation, someone mentioned earlier on, I can't remember if it was T or Alison, someone mentioned palpitations. Yes, it's on the list. However, if you're concerned about it, go and get it seen to speak to your GP. Let's not normalize these symptoms, right? And remember, this list is not to overwhelm you. It's about knowledge. It's about just being aware, raising your awareness. Oh, actually, I experienced that. And it could well be that I'm navigating through perimenopause or menopause. I've had my menopause. Remember, menopause is one day in this whole journey. And then it could be the postmenopause. Let's not forget the postmenopause queens. We are now in our postmenopause. However, 24% of women do not experience any symptoms through perimenopause, through the menopause, right? They experience menopause because that's when your reproductive system says, no more, I'm closing up shop. But they do not experience any symptoms. 24%. No symptoms or limited symptoms. This is why you hear some women saying, well, I didn't experience anything. But as I said, discussions with consultants, about 120 symptoms. And I feel that, you know what, these symptoms have been listed from us speaking up and speaking our truth. We have got to continue to speak up and speak our truth because we're the ones experiencing it. Remember, you've already agreed with me today. We are the experts of our body. We don't need an expert to be telling us anything else about our body. We're the experts of our body, right? So we're the ones experiencing this. So this is why we've got to speak up even more. Because of this list here, or of the 20 and 120 list that I'm saying that it's going to be out there, could well be more. Only 34 is recognised. Why? Why is it only 34 recognised? We need to speak up a bit more. We absolutely need to be speaking up a bit more about this. And we need to walk it unapologetically. Remember our book, our community book. We are hot, wise and unapologetic. That's what we are. We're absolutely. Yes, it did. So, Alison, you're right. It does support hair. It does absolutely support hair. But I feel the question wasn't around that per se. I know you was asking that in the quiz and I know it's gone past now, but yeah, the question wasn't that per se. Thank you for sharing the live, Princess. Thank you for sharing the live. I'm not sure if anyone is still here though, but I'm just gonna check over and then I'm going to close for the evening. I didn't expect to be on this long, actually, but I'm going to close for the evening. But as I said, we are back with our scheduled lives every Wednesday at 8 p.m. But I'm not going to be here tomorrow. This is why I'm here this evening, because I've got a prior arrangement tomorrow taking place. So I thought, let's do it this evening rather than do it tomorrow. I wasn't going to be able to do it. I didn't want you to miss out. So we are doing our series, 3-part series of get to know your hormones. We need to get to know our hormones, right, Queens? This is what we're doing. It's all about empowering. It's all about building our knowledge, and knowledge is power. Absolutely. Right. This is what we're going to be doing. So next week, Wednesday, we are not going to do the part 2 of the 3-part series. We will be having a special guest, a guest speaker. It is going to be Lee Matheson, and he is a founder and naturopath of Magic Tree Superfoods. So we're going to be talking about menopause and superfoods. So those of you who are available, get your questions. I'm going to be asking him a lot of questions as well. Get your questions in, and you're going to meet us here live at 8 p.m. on Wednesday next week. I believe Wednesday is the 13th next week. I think it's the 13th. But I'm going to be posting up about it anyway. So you'll see a photo of him. And get your questions to the ready. Get your questions. You spent your menopause in the sea. Oh, did you now? Well, that's one way, isn't it? Listen, absolutely. Wait, baby, no, yes. Okay. So I'm hoping, you know what, we've just gone away with a bit more knowledge than we had before. If not, it's just confirmed your knowledge. If you didn't go away with anything new, it's confirmed your knowledge. You know what, I always feel that no matter how much knowledge we have, when we start having discussions and exploring things on a deeper level, we get to know a few things more, don't we? So this is what we're here. We're building our knowledge so we can better understand our bodies, and better understand, more importantly, this menopause journey. Better understand it. And you know what? We're paving a way for the younger generation. We're paving a way for the queens that are going to embark on this journey. Absolutely paving a way for them. You know, our generation that we're talking about it now, it's fantastic. Our parents, our mothers and our grandmothers, they never really spoke about it. Never really spoke about it. So those of you who requested some information from me, I will send that over to you. And Lady Carleen, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. Those of you who joined the community this evening, you are now a menopause warrior. Absolutely, menopause warriors in full effect. Same as stress right now. Shell, what was that? What you was asking? Sorry, I've just come back. I don't know if you're still here. You said same as stress right now. Was it a question or a comment you was making? Stress and sleep. It's so important, you know, our stress. I did a live about 2 weeks ago, and I asked the question. I don't even think I stayed on long. I asked the question, who or what, or what was it? What or who no longer serves a purpose in your life? What or who no longer serves purpose? Because, you know, sometimes we hold on to things and people that just are not serving a purpose. Why are we holding on to them? Why are we holding on to the items? Why are we holding on to those people? Because to me, they're just taking up space. Space that you could do using yourself. That's what I feel. That's another story for another day, right? You're welcome. You're welcome. See, I'm getting blurred vision right now. You see? I need to go and wear my glasses. I need to wear my glasses and try and work with them. That's what I need to do. I put them on for about an hour every day to try and get used to them. But I'm getting blurred vision now. Okay. So those of you, if I've missed your question, it's not deliberately. I'm trying to follow the rhythm here. If I've missed your question, it's not done deliberately. However, what I will do, I am going to go back and look through all the comments. So if I have missed your question, I will respond to you only if your DMs are open. I cannot respond to you if your DMs are closed. And even to the point where you might send me a question, but I cannot respond to you. I know I had a few people send me something by DM. When I went to respond to them, I wasn't able to respond to them. The best way to get to me is just click on the email link and I can just respond to you that way as well. It is an absolute long list, Shell. You see, my throat is dry now, right? From reading the list, it's dry. Absolutely, Alison. And this is what I'm saying. Let's not accept that just because that is a list, that list is there. Let's not just accept that that's what it is. It's peri or menopause or postmenopause. Obviously, they scored again. Because it could absolutely be something else. And this is why I went to the opticians, because I knew that my blurred vision was part of my journey, right? But my blurred vision was always a 24-hour thing. It went after 24 hours, but my blurred vision decided to remain and it was 48 hours. So I went to the opticians. Absolutely. So this is what I'm saying. You know your body. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. That's what your body's telling you. Go and seek medical attention, regardless what is on the list. Yeah, absolutely. You're so right. Could be other issues. And this is why we need to go and get it investigated. Absolutely go and get it investigated. Hi, Kelly. I started at 35. Yeah. It can happen at 35. It can happen younger. Remember, menopause can be surgically induced, or people say chemically induced. It can be induced through because of radiation, chemotherapy. Yeah, it can happen. I've just ordered some pre-menopause herbal teas. What do you recommend? Oh, hi, positive vibes. Herbal tea. Do you know what? I'm on a sour sap at the moment. My cupboard is filled with sour sap and ginger and peppermint. Ginger and peppermint and sour sap tea. That's all I've been drinking. To the point where I will make it up and let it cool down, put it in the fridge and drink it cold now as well. But yeah, I've just at the moment I'm drinking lots of sour sap and peppermint and ginger combined. Peppermint and ginger. I did my research. They're good for your digestive system, to the point where as well what I've been doing is when I have my dinner, I won't have a cold drink with my dinner anymore. I'm having a hot drink. It helps with digestion. And I've noticed the difference. I'm telling you, I've noticed the difference. It's working for me. Paula, brilliant book. Oh, you're talking about our book? Yeah, we've got. I was giving them away last week. Maybe next week, not next week. The next time we do a quiz, I'll give some more away. I've got quite a few of them. Hot, Wise and Unapologetic: A Journey Through Menopause with Power and Grace. That's the community book. So I'll probably give some away. I'll give some. It's either the book or you get a consultation. It's been good evening. Oh, thank you very much. And this is so if you have any subject matter that you would like to be brought to the forefront, let me know. This is your community. It's all about building our knowledge, right? And collectively, we're building knowledge to better understand A, our bodies, and B, this journey. Because I'm telling you, this journey can feel overwhelming sometimes, absolutely feel overwhelming, but you're absolutely not alone. You are not alone. Thank you, Patricia. Brenda, McCoy, welcome to the community. Welcome to the, thank you for the follow. Is it iStar? I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Welcome to the community. Thank you for the follow. Please, I'm 54. I don't seem to present with menopausal concerns. I read in the book. Okay. Absolutely. Listen, Queen, you're 56 and you don't present. That's fine. Don't welcome it. You don't need to welcome it. I have spoken to women in their late 50s, early 60s, and they're still having menstrual cycles. Everyone's body is different. Just because you're hearing about, someone else's, this is happening to them, that's them. Your body's your body. So no, please don't be concerned. Because if your symptoms are not presenting themselves, that's fine. Don't wish it on yourself. Absolutely don't wish it on yourself. Remember, some women, it's 24% of women don't actually experience anything. Oh, thank you, Just Empress. Don't actually experience any symptoms, sorry. I will say that again. Don't actually experience symptoms or very limited symptoms. And to be honest, the list that we've just gone through, there may be people that, experience some things on the list, but they don't associate it with their perimenopause, or they don't associate it with the menopause. Don't associate it with at all. Because like Alison mentioned, it may not be that. So this is what I'm saying. Just because we've got this list, everyone, let's not normalize it. It may be something else, so let's get it checked out, right? Okay, so I am going to just welcome the last few. Is it Ishtar? Ishtar, welcome to the community. Welcome to the community. With our parents had shared. Wish our parents had shared this. Absolutely, Alison. I'm telling you. You know what? But you know, we have got the knowledge now, and then we're going to pass it on to the next. You know, the younger generation. So they're going to be more knowledgeable. They're going to be more confident in speaking their truth. Absolutely. This is what we're doing. We're paving a way for them. You're welcome, Donnie. You're welcome. We're just going to keep on building our knowledge, right? I'm going to pass on the knowledge that I've been going and doing the research and everything else. Everyone's got knowledge in here. We're going to keep sharing our stories, sharing our truth. How does the soursop help? Well, it tastes sweet for sure. I'm telling you. How's it been helping me? That's a good question. I have been tracking it. And you know what? It's been helping with my digestive system. That's what I found most that it's been helping me with. That's me personally. I've noticed my digestive system feels a lot better. So do you know what, everyone? What I've been doing recently, I'm stepping up on dealing with my gut health. That's what I've been doing recently. And I'm telling you, my gut health is feeling a lot better. I didn't get bloated anyway, but there are some days when I get bloated, but I know exactly what it is. That's when I go on fast and eat a baguette. I will get bloating because it does. That bready sort of stuff makes me bloat. So I tend to stay away from it. But yeah, that's what the soursop's been helping me with. My digestive system. I was 32 and hysterectomy at 46 and then. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Vicky. Absolutely sorry to hear that. And the thing is, right, remember, our bodies will change, right? It's going through a change. This is a natural transition we're going through. But also, our body is, this is why, go back to tracking. You know, every 7 years, right, we have a chemical imbalance change on top of what's going on. So this is why it's important to track. Because one day your body is fine with one thing, and the next week, the next hour, the next month, it's not. It's rejecting it. And it's dealing with it differently. It's like getting to know your body all over again. Absolutely. You're welcome. Hey, Mercy. You are perfectly okay, Queen. I'm telling you, you're perfectly okay. Remember what I said about if you're concerned about anything, go and speak to the GP. Good night, Ring Hill. Good night. I don't know if you're still here, but good night. I'm going to be signing off now as well anyway. I'm absolutely going to be signing off. I'm going to go through. So those of you who would like some information, I'm going to send you those. Queen, is it Oakley? Queen, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. Welcome. Everyone, if I haven't given you a shout out for joining the community, welcome. It hasn't been done deliberately. Welcome. Remember, on Wednesday, we are going to, not tomorrow, next week, the 13th, we are going to have a guest speaker, and then we're going to continue the following week. Not sure. Maybe the following week after that. We're going to continue with our Get to Know Our Hormones, Get to Know Your Hormone series, right? And then we're going to be looking at progesterone before we go on to testosterone. I'm going to sign off now. It's been a pleasure speaking to you all. I'm going to sign off the 2 ways that I always sign off. The first way, I always send a virtual hug to everyone, don't I? Always send a virtual hug. And the second thing I always say is, you're not alone. You're absolutely not alone. Do you know what? This journey can feel lonely, but you're not alone. And if you do feel alone after the live has ended, please reach out to someone. Reach out to someone that you trust, someone that will listen, and someone that will understand. Thank you for the heart me. Someone that will understand you, or even begin to start trying to understand you. But queens, keep speaking your truth, right? Keep on speaking your truth, right? But give yourself some compassion and grace. Stay blessed, everyone. Have a beautiful, I don't even know what today is. What is today? Tuesday? Wednesday? I don't know. I can't remember. It's a day today. Have a blessed rest of the week, and I will see you all next week, Wednesday. Okay? Back to our scheduled lives. But keep a lookout for the posts. I'm going to post some stuff for you. All right. Have a lovely evening. Stay blessed, everyone. God bless. Stay blessed.